All right, everybody, we're going to go over today's trade recap. Today is 12/17/2025, so December 17th. I just want to go over today's trade recap. We ended up taking a break-even trade. We ended up predicting the right direction of where the market wanted to go, which is good, I guess, but we ended up getting stopped out at break-even. And today is going to be my last day I trade on my live accounts. I'll be paper trading the rest of December because, again, tomorrow I travel. Friday I'll paper trade in the last 2 weeks. I'll end up paper trading. And then on the 24th, the market closes early. 25th will be closed. 26th will paper trade. And then the rest of December we'll end up paper trading. And then we'll pick up on our live accounts in the beginning of January. And we'll start a new year and see if we can accomplish some new goals in January. So going into today, I wanted to determine if I was going to take a trade or not. After yesterday's loss, I was just coming into today thinking I wasn't going to take a trade. We were still up on the month. We're up 5.52K in the month. Again, we're focusing on slow and consistent growth over time. We're not focusing on trying to rush the process and try and get big flashy payouts and all this shit, trying to impress people on social media, right? We're trying to focus on the long-term goal of trading, building these accounts slowly, doing the right things, trading to the best of my ability and becoming a better trader over time and just showing my journey on social media as we grow over time. So again, I explain that in all my videos. So let's jump into the trade recap. So jumping into the trade recap, I ended up taking this trade on ES. So I'll have it on replay mode on ES, as you can see. We can see market open. We end up just dumping down. Okay. I had my draws and liquidity marked out. We didn't break structure to the upside on the 4-hour on ES, but we did on NASDAQ. So on the higher time frame, both indexes weren't correlated, but at first I came in with a bullish bias. And again, you can see my bias in the Discord if you want. But again, I had a bullish bias coming into today because we broke structure in the 4-hour time frame. I wanted to see if we're going to manipulate lower and continue higher up and come and fill in this 4-hour bearish fair value gap we had above, taking out this 4-hour high in that 4-hour bullish fair value gap. But again, we didn't end up doing that. The market does what it wants, and we just ended up waiting patiently, waiting for the market to present an opportunity. So you can see market ends up dumping on market open. I didn't see anything. I was staying patient. I wanted to see if we can get a continuation confluence, maybe to the downside. But I was still bullish, seeing if we wanted to break structure on the 5-minute time frame. We had some draws and liquidity down below. We had these hourly lows I was paying attention to, and London session lows down there, and we had these hourly lows also. But you can see we ended up dumping down. We ended up forming a 15-minute fair value gap. Okay, so we form a 15-minute fair value gap, and then we also end up forming a 4-hour S&T. Right, we could see ES made a high, and a lower high, and then NASDAQ ended up forming a high and a higher high, okay? So at the 10 a.m. candle closure, we ended up forming that 4-hour S&T. So I was like, all right, I'm probably going to be bearish now if we can come up into this 15-minute fair value gap, get a retracement off of it, and then target this 15-minute low and these hourly lows down below, and maybe NASDAQ could come into this 4-hour bullish fair value gap that we have down here, but ended up just skyrocketing through it, or just dropping straight through it. But again, that was my thought process, excuse me. But as we can see, we end up forming a 15-minute fair value gap over here on ES and on NASDAQ. So I waited patiently, wanting to see what price wanted to do. So as you can see on the 5-minute time frame, we end up forming a 5-minute high. We'll go over here on NASDAQ also, and we can see we formed a 5-minute high also. Okay, so we formed a 5-minute high. We'll mark out this 5-minute high right here. I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame because we could see that ES ended up coming out, taking out this 5-minute high. NASDAQ didn't. So when I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame, let's go here. We could see on the 1-minute time frame, NASDAQ formed a high and a higher high. So we had a 1-minute S&T out of this 15-minute fair value gap after sweeping a 5-minute high. And then we had it over here, S&T, right? I didn't get it on the right one, but there you go. You see it, okay? We formed a high and a lower high on NASDAQ. So what I wanted to see is a break of structure to the downside in our continuation confluence, which is a fair value gap fill or equilibrium fill. We could see that we didn't break structure on NASDAQ till this candle here. We didn't form any fair value gaps. So I decided to take this trade on ES because we had a better entry in my opinion. And we could see we had, where's my 1-minute bearish? Formed a 1-minute bearish fair value gap here. We ended up forming another 1-minute bearish fair value gap right here. Okay, so I wanted to see if we can create a new low. We end up forming a new low. I mark out equilibrium also. I'm not going to take a trade off the first fair value gap. I usually like waiting and seeing if we come into the first presented fair value gap. So I X this out. I wait patiently. We end up coming into that end equilibrium, correct? And we get a bearish candle closure out of it. Here's my entry. Original stop loss was above this high. My break even was at this low here. And then first take profit, second take profit was going to be here. Okay. I ended up exiting a little bit early on this trade because we took a loss yesterday. I knew today was going to be our last day. We ended up getting an opportunity. I ended up going in with 2 micros on this trade, targeting a 1 to 4.2 basically. So I managed this trade very tightly, especially just because how December price action can be and has been, okay? So again, we ended up coming down to our break-even level, okay? I saw that we ended up forming a 1-minute SMT at this low, okay? So this low is at 1019. Where's 1019? Yep, 1019. We could see we ended up forming a 1-minute bullish SMT. NASDAQ formed a low and a higher low. ES formed a low and a lower low. Okay? I didn't like that, right? It looked like we were already consolidating a little bit. I didn't like where we were moving. So I decided to take one partial once we formed that 1-minute SMT. And again, I was going to let that last, take profit, run all the way down to our full take profit. Okay, I secured profits a little bit early because I thought we had the potential to continue back up again if we were going to chop around and maybe fill in this fair value gap one more time. Ended up moving my stop loss down to here once it hit break even also. So I was giving it some room to run. But once I ended up taking a partial profit, I ended up putting my stop loss right at this candle's body because we had a 1-minute, let's see, 1-minute bearish fair value gap. Where are we at? We had a 1-minute bearish fair value gap right here. I thought, hey, if we're going to inverse this 1-minute bearish fair value gap, we're probably going to continue higher and prevent this from taking a loss. As you can see, price ended up coming up, stopping us out at break even. We still made $11 per account since we secured that first take profit, but the second profit got taken out at break even basically. So we still only ended up making $233 in the day. And as we can see, we would have been stopped out, but if we did keep our original stop loss, the trade would have ended up playing out if we kept our take profit one here at the 15-minute low and this hourly low down below. The trade would have ended up playing out, but it chopped around for a little bit and then it played out, which stinks. But again, I feel like I managed this trade correctly. We could see if we ended up taking that trade on NASDAQ, we would have been stopped out anyway if we went off equilibrium. But again, I don't know. I think we managed the trade correctly. So if we went off of equilibrium, we probably would have entered off of this candle right here and then targeted first take profit here and then second take profit, this 4-hour bullish for value gap. Would have been stopped out by the tick, but again, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I thought we were going to consolidate for a little bit because you can see, if you look at the 5-minute time frame, the 5-minute time frame was booty. Like, this was terrible, okay? So I didn't want to take another trade. I thought we were just going to consolidate the rest of the day just like yesterday and have terrible price action. But we ended up dumping down. Full take profit would have hit, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. I think I managed the trade correctly. I really thought price was just going to dump down and start doing its thing. But again, it didn't. Overall direction of the trade was correct. We ended up getting stopped out at break even. I think I managed the trade correctly, and again, ended up getting stopped out at break even. It's part of trading. So again, we ended the month 5.52K on December. And again, we're up 22.8K right now out of all my accounts combined. And again, I'm focusing on long-term and steady growth, guys and girls. Again, you guys might not like that, but I show my proof of all my months right now. We could see I have an overall trade win percentage of 59% win rate. My day win rate is 63%. You guys can see this graph over here also of how we've grown our accounts and grown from 3 accounts, went and drawdown and just built them up over time. And again, if I feel like if we consistently keep doing that and taking the slow and steady route and doing the right things over time, again, it's going to show, and it's going to look like it happened overnight when it didn't. But again, I posted a message in my Discord today. Someone was telling me how, again, he's going to stop rushing, stop getting FOMO, and stop gambling and stuff like that. And I try to explain to people every day, it's just the people who rush the process. And again, you can get payouts, you can rush the process and do the wrong things, and you can get some rewards off of that. But the long-term effect of that is those people end up failing in the future because they keep building bad habits. They keep rushing the process. They're so focused on the money. And right now I'm just focused on slow and steady growth and compounding over time and not proving myself to anybody. And again, that shouldn't be a bad thing. I just want to prove to myself that I can be a really good trader, and I feel like I've done that over the past 5 months especially. We've only had 2 red months. And again, if we look at this month's P&L and everything like that and win rate and all this shit, again, I'm just doing this for proof. Well, proof. We had a 66% win rate, profit factor 2.5, day win rate 75%, finishing the month 5.5K. So again, we're just trying to do the right things every single day, and that's just what I think the right decision is to do. A lot of people rush the process nowadays, and again, do whatever you want, trade however you want to. This is how I trade, and again, I'm just focused on slow, consistent, steady growth, and I'm excited for 2026 to see what we can bring. Um, we'll see what my goal is. My goal is to make. Let's see if we can make $100,000 next year, $150,000. That's going to be my goal. My girlfriend thinks I can make $1 million, so hopefully that's true, but we'll see. But regardless, I think we're doing the right thing. A lot of people can't sit through the slow and consistent, steady growth over time. They need big, flashy profits to show off and try and impress people. But at the end of the day, I really don't care about that. I care about doing the right things. I care about staying disciplined. I care about following my rules. And we haven't broken our rules once within 6 months, and we're sticking to our risk management plan until we get past the buffer and build these accounts to $5,000 profit each until we can request our first payout. So we can keep requesting payouts monthly, one after another, instead of just getting a payout, blowing your account, getting a payout, blowing your accounts, building more accounts over time and blowing accounts, getting one payout. It just doesn't make sense to me, in my opinion. And again, I don't know. That's just my opinion, regardless. But overall, this is going to be the last trade recap till next year. Going to take some time off from trading for a little bit. I'll still be trading live in the Discord, but I'll be paper trading. I'm going to stay around. I'm going to keep running the Discord and, again, stay active. But again, on these PA accounts, we're going to lock them up until 2026. And then 2026, I truly believe, is going to be the year where you guys start seeing the progress of what slow and consistent growth can do over time, and just focusing on the right things and focusing on slow growth and stop rushing the process to impress people and just focusing on the money and stuff like that. We're doing this to get better as traders, or I'm doing this to get better as a trader, but I have my community to help everybody in it just get better as a trader and just focus on becoming a good trader, doing the right things, being disciplined, following your system. Because again, I truly think when you're doing the right things we're doing now, when you have more capital, that's when it's going to be teaching us to do the right things. Because again, if you make 4%, like you have a $2,500 drawdown, I made 4% the other day, making like $116 per account or something like that, whatever it was. It was like 4%. People try and aim for that in like a month. Like, it's like if you have a $3 million account and you're making 4%, that's a shit ton of money in one trade. I don't care what you say. Right now, I'm just lacking the capital. But we're doing the right things to compound that capital over time. So when we get to that point, it's just going to look like it happened overnight. And we're going to keep doing the right things. We're going to keep staying disciplined. We're going to keep overall sticking to our long-term game plan, especially when we have a lot of money in an account, and not be emotional. Because when you have a lot of money, these kids who are just rushing the process and oversizing and keep resetting accounts and are just this repetitive process of getting a payout and resetting accounts, getting a payout and blowing accounts, it's not going to last long when they have a lot of money, because when they have a live account and they end up just blowing all their funds when they have millions of dollars in an account, if they get there, it's just not going to be good. And again, this is what being slow and consistent and being patient looks like. It takes longer. It's long and grueling and painful, and a lot of people don't want to see it because it's not cool and flashy looking. I'm not securing payouts every week or month or something like that yet, but the time will come, guys, and I'll prove that over time. And again, we'll see where we are a year, 2 years from now. We'll come back to this video, and hopefully it's a bit. Maybe hopefully I'm right. I think I will be right. I think I'm doing the right thing. I listen to ICT's videos and speeches and stuff like that. He explains it, and again, people might not listen to me now. They'll listen to someone like him because he has the proof of it. But we'll get there. We'll get there one day. All right. Peace out, everybody. I appreciate everybody who's liked and subscribed to my channel. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Join the Discord. It is free. And if you want to get a discount on Apex accounts to running another deal, use code TMastro. And again, that's pretty much it. It's going to wrap it up for December. In the past 5 months, as you can see right there, 22.8K. Hell yeah. Let's make it $1 million. Let's make it $1 million. Goodbye.